So, a comment that I get on my channel regularly is how unsafe New York City is, how high the crime is and how horrible it is in contrast to the old days. And I don't know, the thing is, I guess I grew up in the 90s, so I'm probably used to a different type of New York City than people who moved here as it was gentrifying in the mid-2000s and early 2010s are used to. So I thought I would kind of test this, and I figured, what better time to test whether or not it's safe than to walk home at 1 in the morning after drinking a ridiculous amount of whiskey and vodka and being plastered, which is what I plan on doing right now. So yeah, that's that. So I am going to walk to my old apartment from Midtown Manhattan while wasted on alcohol, and we are going to see if it is safe or unsafe. I personally don't think that it's really that bad. Again, as somebody that grew up in the 90s in New York City, that observed Brooklyn and stuff and everything else, it's just I'm not fazed by any of this shit. But let's take a walk through and see, shall we? I had a good amount of Ciroc. I had something, I forget what it is that Kevin got me, and then I had a bunch of whiskey right after. So we're gonna have some fun. Again, you know, it's as much as I shit on New York City, and I've shit on New York City a lot over the past 10 years on YouTube. I really do think people are overplaying their hand on that whole like crime being crazy out of control. I think it's one of those things where the city has 8.5 million people. So you're always going to see a bunch of crime reported here versus a town of like 20,000 people because you have 8.5 million people. So there's always going to be a bunch of crime. But this has never been a place where I was afraid to walk down the street. And I probably will never be one of those people that's afraid to walk down the street. But one thing I should do, because I'm streaming this, is look around me a little bit more. Especially since I'm kind of shit-faced right now. Taking a nice speed walk, it helps you metabolize the alcohol, you know? I am not as think you hammered I am. Oh, you're hammered, all right, my friend. You're wasted. You are shit-faced. But I am as well. And that's what's going to make this fun. Life is more fun when you're wasted, I will say. Definitely more fun. Your problems melt away. I kind of want to see if my old store got rented, but I feel like I know the fucking answer to that one. Retail for lease, baby. Well, how is Joker? How would this be bannable? This isn't the 1920s. There's no prohibition. What do you think about your New York post about? What do you think about your New York City real estate video and a post on Wall Street Bets? You know, I'm a little pissed off about that. Here's why. They used my thumbnail. Here's the thing. Use my thumbnail. Use anything from this channel. Just do me a favor and link to it, will you? Will you link to my fucking video? I don't think they linked to it, but by the time I got the ping about it, I had already had about 5 shots of Ciroc. So, I don't know. I didn't read the post as thoroughly as otherwise. Just make sure. Start yelling and let people know you're not drunk. Still safer than being in a relationship with Amber Heard. Dude, I have taken my personal life and destroyed it. Like, I've taken my personal life over the past several years and just put it into a paper shredder, piece by piece. Like, I've done everything that you're not supposed to do in every relationship that I've been in with a woman, and I still am better off than I would be if I was with Amber Heard. You could take all of Johnny Depp's money and offer it to me right now and say, in exchange for this, you have to deal with being married to Amber Heard, and I would take what I have right now. Like, New York State Department of Finance auditing me for 7 months, business not profitable anymore, all that shit, I wouldn't give a fuck about it. I'll happily take that over being married to Amber Heard. Screw that. There's some things that money just money is not worth it, you know? Retail for lease, by the way, over there. Feliz Navidad, baby. Always look around you. Just remember this. Tacos or burritos? Burritos by far. But I haven't had a burrito in a long fucking time, though. I've lost about 13 pounds in a month. I can lift more, but I cut gluten out of my diet. I cut bread out, and the burritos have a wrap. And the tortilla, I mean, that's a wrap. That's usually gluten or bread. And I cut that out for good reason, because it makes you fat for no good reason. But I haven't had a burrito in a while. I kind of miss burritos. I was actually... Let's see, what does Union Square look like? Are you not in a relationship, says Monet. I'm in a relationship with nobody. Correct. I am a single man. I am in a relationship with the bottle of Sriracha I was drinking tonight. How's 720p look like 144? Because I use AT&T and they fucking suck. AT&T is a goddamn scam. Doesn't matter how much bandwidth you pay. What happened with Erica? Dude, why do you want me to answer the same question over and over again? You really want me to answer this 1.7 million times? I broke up with her. Not romantically compatible. I wish her the best in life. Alright. What does Union Square look like? Why is Union Square all walled off and shit like this? This doesn't make any fucking sense. What is this? This looks like a fucking prison. Are you serious? Since when do they have a fucking prison bars in front of Union Square? I miss this. I don't know, maybe I haven't been to Union Square in a while. When did they start closing this shit off? This is crazy. Anyway. I'm gonna visit the old store and see what they have going on over there. Also gonna spin around because I don't want to get surprised. I have COVID, so I'm vicariously living my Saturday through this live stream. I don't have COVID. I don't know if I have COVID because I don't test myself for COVID because I don't care anymore. I got COVID twice, I got vaccinated twice, I'm good. If I get COVID again, I don't know. I don't even know if I will get COVID again. I feel like I'm invincible at this point. So this over here used to be a cozy restaurant. I had one of my best dates at this cozy restaurant. Actually turned out to be somebody that wound up torturing me on and off over a very long period of time. But I had a really good memory at that restaurant. Sometimes I wish I could MIB my memories. Like this Will Smith with the little red dot tool thing. But many of the places in New York City that I used to have good memories at, or that are now a bank or a retail space for lease. It's very sad. Get a 360 cam. I had a GoPro 360 in my bag and it got stolen, and I'm not getting a new one. Also, GoPro streaming is trash. It never works. By the way, another space for lease over here. Everything. How was COVID the second time? Same as the first. Yeah, it kind of sucked as much as the first, to be honest with you. Have you ever run into Casey Neistat living in New York? Nope, don't care. Who's the worst, Future Motion or Amber Heard? That's a difficult one, bro. That's a difficult one. If you get lonely, I can post a link for the companionship website. You know what? No thanks. I don't want to hire a hooker, but I appreciate it. There's no fun in hiring hookers. Kind of curious to see if my store is still for lease. I mean, who am I kidding? I know the fucking answer to that. It's New York City. Of course it's still for lease. Everything is always for lease. Now and forever. Sonny went home. I went to a nightclub tonight, which was really a dumbass thing to do because nightclubs fucking suck. I just wanted to make sure one of my employees was gonna get back in the game and start asking women out again. But I thought it would help if I went there and I got rejected by a bunch of women, make him feel better about getting rejected. I shouldn't say rejected. He's not gonna get rejected. He looks like Benjamin Bratt. He kind of has this Benjamin Bratt look to him, so I expect him to kind of have some better luck. But yeah, nightclubs are fucking miserable. I have never enjoyed time that I've spent. I don't know why people pay to go into those things. You have to pay me to get in. You have to pay me to show up at one of those places. They never play anything good. Like, there's never any Alan Parsons, Jeff Beck, Frank Zappa, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Alice in Chains. It's always some garbage shit blasted on a garbage PA system. Too loud, surrounded by people that are drinking too much, thinking too little. No fun. Ever met Casey Neistat? No, and I don't care. Did you break up with your girlfriend? Holy fuck, stop asking dumb questions. Jesus fucking Christ, how many times do I have to answer the same thing for you people? Okay. Yeah, Sonny, but anyway, Sonny was dressed in sweatpants, so he couldn't come. Sonny wasn't dressed in a way that would have gotten him into the club. However, that nightclub was mostly Asian, so it probably would have been made up for. One of my employees asked this woman for a dance, and I'm shit you not, it was an Asian club. She says, "Speak to me in Chinese." The only thing my employee knows how to say in Chinese, the only words are "I love you." So he says "I love you" in Chinese, and the woman literally runs away. Oh, that was funny. I talked to one woman, she literally ran away instantly. That was fun.
I was getting
Pick one: married to Amber Heard for 2 years, or be a lobbyist for big tech for 2 years. I'd be a lobbyist, because I'd be good at that shit. I'm not kidding. If I was an anti-right to repair lobbyist, there'd be no wheelchair bill in Colorado. If I was an anti-right to repair lobbyist, there'd be no FTC, there'd be no Biden executive order, no FTC, anything.
Are you Liz Rossman?
I am. How are you?
Hi.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I
Nice to meet you
all the
too.
work that you're doing. I never thought I'd
What's your
remember.
name?
I'm Harrison.
Oh, nice to meet you. What are you doing around here?
I live right there.
Oh, cool. Oh, do you go to school here or something?
Yeah, I do.
What are you going to school for?
Computer science.
That's good.
You know, an apt.
You'll have a real career someday.
I sure hope so.
It was good meeting you.
Good meeting
Have a
you.
good evening, sir. I feel bad he didn't get the proper experience because I feel drunk out of my mind right now. But I hope I was nice enough. I'm trying to be a little less I'm of an anti-social. Whoa, you fucking yellow cab terrorist. Jesus Christ. That guy almost tried to kill me. Anyway, I think I gotta try. I gotta try to at least pretend I'm not anti-social. Like when I meet people that say, "Hey, I watch your channel, I love it, blah, blah," I gotta at least pretend I don't hate you, you know? Just because I hate humanity doesn't mean I hate you personally. I don't mean it personally, but it's always gonna come off personally. So I gotta do better. I'm gonna try to do better into the future. I'm gonna do better into the future. The people that watch this channel that I meet in person are in better. I think it was a little bit easier because I'm wasted. Probably shouldn't be walking 7 miles while wasted holding a cell phone, but this will be fun. You were very nice to him. Well, thank you. Drunk Lewis is probably the best experience. Maybe. Where to look for temporary housing in Brooklyn? I need to move in 14 days. Good luck with that. It's so fucking overpriced everywhere. I live in Bed-Stuy. I moved into Bed-Stuy when it was the type of place where like you don't walk there if you're white, you know, like because I moved in there when it was actually affordable But now it's not affordable anymore. Cause like I didn't really care about that shit, you know. Like I don't know. I grew up here my entire life, so when people are like, hey, you don't want to go to that neighborhood, I don't give a fuck. Like if I could save $400 a month by living there or have a slightly bigger apartment, I'll take it. I moved to Marcy and Park in the mid 2000s, and I lived right across the street from the Marcy housing projects. It was so affordable. It was like $900 or some shit a month or something. I had the entire floor of the building to myself. Granted, every now and then you'd hear some sort of shooting or fight or something, but they were never looking for me. It was always something else, you know. It was business. They'd be fighting over business, and my business had nothing to do with their business because I fixed MacBooks. Now it's all gentrified. You have fucking hipster coffee shops in Bed-Stuy. You have juice bars in Bed-Stuy. You have fucking Thai restaurants in Bed-Stuy. And now a nice little $800 apartment that took up the whole floor is close to $2,000. So I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. There's no place affordable here anymore. The apartment that I still have there isn't even in my name. It's in somebody else's name because that apartment when I had a credit score around 400. My credit score used to be as low as a Tennessee area code. So somebody rented that apartment for me. And if I were to leave it with no notice, it's like, hey, friend, thank you for renting this apartment in your name and taking on all the legal liability and monetary liability for it if I don't pay rent. I'm out of here. So, you know, I still pay for it until the lease is up. It's convenient. Better than sleeping in my basement, you know, if I come to the store. You in New York City are like an old couple in a love-hate relationship. Well, I still have a business here. Even if I don't have a primary residence here, I have a business here. And that business employs 12 people, and several of them are not able to leave. Some of them are not able to leave because they have family members that are ill, that are not exactly in a place where they could pick up their life because their kid's laptop repair job is somewhere else. So I feel like it would be a dick move. You know, like, hey, thank you for being loyal for the past 8 years through thick and thin, staying here when you could have gotten a better job, made more money elsewhere. Thank you very much. You know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to uproot you and your family while they're ill and when they're not really in a great place. Like, that's a fucked up ass thing to do. So I've always got I know that situation eventually will resolve itself. There's one or two ways it can resolve itself, and I really hope it resolves itself in the more pleasant way, if you know what I mean, than the more permanent way. But I got my eye on different places to take everything to once that shit resolves itself. Yeah. But like, it is what it is, you know? This business made money for many years. So it loses money for a year or 2 years or 3 years to show a little bit of loyalty to the people that stuck around. It's the least I owe them, I think. I'll be fine. Okay. Holy shit. Well, I mean, I didn't need to tell you guys that this place would still be empty. Check it out. We walked over to the East Village. Look at this shit. I wonder if my key still works. Actually, I don't have my key on me. I think I have my key at home because I got to take a piss somewhere. I'm pretty sure I'd be able to take a piss in here. I'm pretty sure they never even changed the locks in the last 2 years. Yeah, check it out. To be fair, I'm not complaining. I love New York City. It plans an expansion. No, I'm not expanding. I don't make any. I'm going to think about contracting at some point. My move is going to be a contraction move, not an expansion move. You're a real one. Thank you, little 6'10". I don't think I am, but swell guy, enjoy your walk. Thank you, Light in the Dark. Yo, this place hasn't... It's been 2 fucking years, and it literally still has everything there. Wow. What a waste. What a goddamn waste. What's up with the bike? Well, the bike... Here's the thing with the bike. I want to tell you a secret. I drank a lot of liquor tonight. And that bike... I'll tell you a serious secret. That bike doesn't go 19 miles an hour. That bike can actually go 50 miles an hour with ease. Actually has a really good amount of acceleration. The batteries on that bike can very, very easily put out like 4,500 watt RMS, 7 to 10,000 watt peak. So I'm not going to be riding a motorcycle while I'm wasted. That's probably a stupid thing to do. so I'm gonna walk home. It also allows me to do the stream, which I've been meaning to do for a while, just figure out, because again, to be clear, I get all these people on my channel, like I get all these people that comment saying like Lewis is some right-wing reactionary that just wants to talk to a right-wing audience and right-wing base, and that's why he trashes New York City. No, I trash New York City because I've ran a business here for 13 years and I know just exactly how much the city fucks with you. And admittedly, I point out the real estate market shit because it's a joke. It's literally a joke. But at the end of the day, I'm not a propagandist, and I am not going to buy into this bullshit propaganda line that I'm actually scared to walk down the fucking street here because crime is so bad. Again, I to be clear, I'm not a fan of New York City in many ways, but I'm not going to bullshit people either. So I've been meaning to do a video where I walk down the street and I show you that it's not as scary as the news is making it out to be. I'm wasted. It is 1 a.m, and I am happily walking through the city with no problem whatsoever because I'm not a giant pussy. The old nothing happened to me fallacy. Dude, it's not a fallacy. Like literally look around. What's happening to anybody? You could see what's happening to anybody here. Do you see anybody that is being victimized at this point in time? Like anybody, not just me. Anybody. Sorry, I got distracted. But like this, I will give you $100 if you could point out at the end of the stream a single person that has been victimized. A single person, just one. Not even me. I raise you on your fallacy, you fuck. Why wouldn't you just pass out at the store? Where's the fun in that? You gotta metabolize your alcohol somehow. Listen, a nice little brisk 6-mile walk, when I get home I'll feel amazing. Gotta get some exercise anyway. That helps you metabolize your alcohol. Go get a tattoo. Fuck that. Talk about your credit score more. My credit score is good now, but my credit score used to be shit. Thanks for the videos and fighting the good fight for right to repair. Oh, thank you guys for doing it. All I do is yell into a camera. You guys do the actual work. You and Nathan Proctor. Make it a franchise. I'd open a Rossman Repair in Limassol, Cyprus. Yeah, but it wouldn't be a Rossman Repair. It would be you with my fucking name on it. And that's the thing. Like, I don't mean this. This is going to come off so shitty, but I don't really even care. Here's the thing. No, you guys are never going to be a Rossman. That's never going to happen. Like the team with Steve and Paul and Chris and Dan and Kevin, that's a once-in-a-lifetime team. You're never going to be a Rossman Repair. A Rossman Repair is what we've built here together. It's what's in all of our brains. There's no way that I'm going to distill what makes this team the best in the industry into a book, then just magically have everybody follow it. So if I were to create a franchise, and I'm just going to put this line in the sand here now, because I've been clear, like I'm not above selling out. I'd sell out for the right amount of money. When you have New York State trying to take all your money away from you, for some, I'm not going to discuss that in this video. But what was I saying? Yeah, the moment that I start franchising and saying like for 100K you can open a Rossman Repair, at that moment you'll know I've sold out. Because there's no way that I'm going to be able to guarantee the quality level that you get at my primary location from that. Like I could train you, but I'm not going to really know what the fuck you're doing. I have no way to tell how you're dealing with your customers, the culture that you're inculcating into your employees 6 months after you sign on the dotted line. You may say all the right shit, when you buy the franchise. I don't know what the fuck you're doing afterwards, but I've thought about it. I've thought about like how distilling down what makes us the best, and I genuinely believe we're the best. I mean, just look at the Google reviews. I mean, it's. I'm not even trying to brag here. It's objectively true. Like, we in a 20 or 40 mile radius of the store on Google Maps, we are the best. The best. I noticed on Yelp a lot of the shittier reviews started ranking a little bit better in 2015, 2016 after that woman got fired from my video that I did. So I don't count Yelp. But even Yelp, I stand behind that. We're the best in this area. But I have no way to really kind of make that repeatable everywhere else. And if I came up with a way where I said that I could guarantee that when you go into a Rossman location anywhere in the United States that it would be as good as coming to this one, I'd be bullshitting you. I have no idea how to do that. I'm a horrible business owner. I'm great at running a small shop. I'm a horrible business owner when it comes to scaling or almost anything in business, honestly. I have no idea what I'm doing. And yet you have to be able to create processes that allow complete and utter morons to be able to do a job. And I don't do that. I don't have some sort of special business secret. My business secret is I hire people that are really, really smart. And I pay them more than what you would get at a competing repair shop so that they stick around. Just... Isn't it 2 a.m. there? Yes, and I have no problem walking around. Yeah. I would be concerned if I was walking at 1 a.m. and I saw a giant vagina. Well, I'd be concerned if I saw a giant vagina anyway, because vaginas are supposed to be small. This is anecdotal evidence. Blah, blah, blah. Quote more. Okay, how about objective evidence? If you want to go through crime stats and go through objective evidence, if you look through any sort of crime stat, per 100,000, New York City still ranks at some of the lowest. Again, to be clear, I still view this city as a giant shithole. I'm simply not a propagandist that's going to make shit up to make people happy with it and reaffirm their preconceived conclusions. Like, per 100,000 for most different crimes, here is fine. Are you hiring? I live close to New York City. No, I'm doing the opposite. I am contracting because I did too much growing too fast. LOL, checking out girls. Dude, I'm single. Can you blame me? Hello, Salem, Texas. Look, the light is red, and that guy's honking at him. These people are actually retarded. That person actually honked at him for not moving forward on a red light. People here are retarded drivers. Like, actually retarded drivers. Dear God. Your thoughts on the Ministry of Truth Biden has set up? I haven't read on that at all, to be honest with you. I've been victimized by New York City. I can't even afford a cardboard box that I live in. Well, I think you'd have to buy land to put the cardboard box on. That's the problem. Okay, as I walked by that woman, I heard her say, "No one talks about how I'm underage," and she's standing outside of a bar. So if I saw she was surrounded by a bunch of dudes, that would be the point at which I start to back away. You back away from that, my friend. You don't want any GTFO. I don't want any of that shit. You're a national treasure. Fight the good fight. Thank you. I don't think I deserve that, but I'll take it. I've seen at least 3 call girls being victimized by the economy, Lewis, and you're still walking. Give the next one a 20 and apologize. I haven't seen any call girls here. Just thirst traps. But thirst traps, and don't call somebody a call girl just because they're a thirst trap. There's a difference. You should respect the difference. It's very impolite to assume that somebody is a prostitute simply because they dress like a thirst trap.
I'm a prostitute.
I mean, I haven't pointed the camera at myself, so maybe I'm dressed like a thirst trap. How do you know? I would love to be with you right now. Any chance you go for dudes? Fuck no. Hell no. No offense. If that's what you're into, that's great. That ain't for me. I will cook and clean for you and never bother you. Yeah, but no. Health insurance too. Not worth it. I don't know fuck dudes. Love the videos. Top 5 favorite bevies. What the fuck is a bevy? I guess it's crazy hard to franchise. You need to control every part of the chain. From onboarding, creating manuals. Yes, kind of like McDonald's did with burgers. That's the thing with McDonald's. McDonald's is a business that's run by 16-year-old stoners. And they print money. They print lots of money. Why are they kicking the sign though? What are you doing, you fucking moron? Don't kick the sign. You dumb piece of shit. Yeah, they're wasted. They had more to drink than I did, apparently. Shit-faced Rossman is best Rossman. You know, I think that too. I see indoor-outdoor dining, Copaz noise. Do data recovery in a dead Moto Z1. We'll try. I'll give it a shot. Okay, so this is the Lower East Side. This is what I call Never Neverland. It's where just people go to get drunk and, I don't know, get drunk and act like children even if they're in their 40s and 50s. Not for me, but. Thank you, Enemy Moon. My apologies to the thirst traps then. Yes, no pigs. Apologize to the thirst traps. Do not call somebody a prostitute simply because they're a thirst trap. That's fucked up. That's prejudicial and that's wrong. Shouldn't do that. It's an entirely separate category. I wonder if Wolf Nights is still open. What's your favorite Frank Zappa song? Montana or Dynamo Hum? Also, there's track 4 off of the Grand Wazoo. I forget the name of track 4 in the Grand Wazoo, but it's track 4 off of the Grand Wazoo. Amazing. I doubt that 99% of the people walking around this neighborhood have even ever heard of Frank Zappa. Any place you have to wait in line for is not worth going into. How about AC/DC? You know, I'm not a big AC/DC fan. It's always... I know I shouldn't say that, but not the biggest excitement for me. Lewis in a shaky cam. Yes. You think I'm carrying around a gimbal for this dead channel? You crazy. Retail space for lease. Message retracted. Retracted? Was it fun hanging out with Destiny? You know, I had a good dinner with Destiny. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting Rich Rebuilds in person. I enjoyed meeting Gamers Nexus in person, and I enjoyed meeting Destiny in person and having an opportunity to get dinner with him. He declined my offer for a bike tour. Rich Rebuilds and Stevan were up for my offer for a bike tour. Destiny seemed a little bit more on the safe side. He looked at that as like, I'm not getting on that shit. But it was fun having dinner with him. It was a pleasure having a talk with him. And Melina. And Melina's friend, but I forget who that was. New York City worth visiting. I don't know. That's a fake number, ArcLogic. That's not the active number. The active number is more like a couple of thousand. Why? What got you plastered? Ciroc, and then some whiskey afterwards. But it was pretty good. Are you thinking of expanding? No, I'm thinking of contracting. I've fucked up way too much over the past 3 years to consider. You expand when you make good decisions and you make money. You contract when you're a dumbass and you lose it. I've had contraction and expansion cycles over the past 15 years. Sometimes I go bigger, sometimes I go smaller, sometimes I close up a business altogether when I've fucked it up completely. Ja Rule is better than Frank Zappa, says John Doe. You know what, if I could time you out for that, I would, you fuck. Not even close. Frank Zappa is way better. Lewis, New York. Lewis, Co-op City had a shooting earlier tonight. I have no idea what Co-op City is. I've never heard of Co-op City before. I don't know what the fuck that is. By the way, this app has an option to only show super chats so I could read them. And when you click it, it shows nothing. I'm not kidding. YouTube is such a broken piece of shit. So, I'm sorry if I missed what you're reading, what you said. I need to balance looking around me with looking at my phone. If I look at my phone, I become an immediate victim. Have you tried Bumble? You know Zombie Feathers? I did. Not only did I try it, but I was actually one of the stupid simps that paid the extra money to be able to have more swipes. At some point I got up to like 18,000 swipes because I had synchronized my swiping with my walking when I was walking home, and I got nowhere with it, and then I uninstalled it. I gave up on that shit a long time ago. At some point with OkCupid, what I did is I actually put hours of effort into profiles and messages and tailoring them to the women's profiles and all that stupid shit. And then I found some model, and I put a picture of a model up, and I changed my profile to say I was a child psychologist because I cared about helping children or some stupid shit like that. And I had like 50 messages in my inbox in a day. And then right after that I deleted it. This is a long time ago. That was like 10 years ago. And I'm kidding. Not only did I delete the profile, I don't think I asked any women out for like 4 or 5 months, even in real life. That shit blackpilled me so hard. It was actually very blackpilling. However, that was, I believe, in 2012 or 2013. So that was a long time ago. But yeah, I don't deal with online dating shit. You have to be in like the top 1% of men to make that work. Either that or way more charming than I am. It's also a waste of time. Like, if I think about it, if I could spend time either working on my business or fucking sitting there giving my thumb arthritis swiping on a bunch of women that are never going to notice me, like, what would I rather do, you know? Like, what will I be happier with 5 or 6 or 10 years from now? What will I feel like was a better expenditure of my time? What will give me better stories to tell my eventual grandchildren? Probably the working on my business, working on my goals, working on myself, not the fucking swiping. Plus, those sites also have a height requirement. Like when I went to Six Flags, you had to be 4'6" to get on most of the rides. And when I went on Bumble, you need to be 5'9" to go on most of the rides. At least from the last time that I used that website. I kind of wonder how that would work out if I put like a minimum cup size in my profile. I don't think it would be a big deal if I was not famous, but I think now with the fame thing, I'd wind up becoming a hashtag if I did that. However, it is standard to put a height requirement. I'm not going to pass the height requirement. Yeah, all those sites are just like, in my opinion, a giant fucking waste of time. Like, live a good life, do cool shit, and whoever shows up for the ride shows up for the ride. And sometimes cool people show up for the ride that you make good memories with. You know, I don't regret any of the women that I've dated over the past like 5 or 6 years. But you know what I'd regret? I'd probably regret spending all my day fucking swiping on some shitty ass website or dating app. And the women that I met while I was just going about my day, living my life, being me, being a crazy person, trying to do shit you're not supposed to do. But yeah, I'm 5'6". You know what it's like going on a dating app where like 1 in every 4 profiles says, by the way, I'm 5'9", just so you know. By the way, I'm 5'8", please be taller. Like, suck my dick. Enjoy being alone until you're 50, you fucking... I don't know what to say to that shit. Anyway. Stop. Don't ask retarded questions, Mopple Matt. That's a retarded question at this point. I'm sorry. You know what? No. I'm drunk, so I can say I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. That's a retarded question. All right. I'm walking here is not something you'll hear anybody say, Space Carrot. That shit is very New York City from like the 80s and the 70s. One of the ways you can tell that somebody's a tourist is they think that people say, I'm walking here. Like all those Irish, Italian, Catholic people that talk like that, they've been gone for 20 years. I don't know where you people all think that shit comes from. That shit's gone. That's from the movies, bro. That's in the movies, my friend. Yeah, you know what's interesting? Joe says I always list my height as 5'7". Says so on my license. I'm 6'3" if I stand up. I don't play that game. Very interesting. You know, my personal trainer at the gym would actually unmatch from women that had height requirements in his profile. He was 6'3", and he was pretty ripped. You know, he was a personal trainer. He worked out. He was in good shape. He's been on my channel a couple of times, Dr. Evil Genius. Like, you know, he's pretty pumped. He's tall. If women had height requirements, even though he clearly exceeded them all, he would say, fuck that. That's why I fuck with him. Solidarity with the manlets like me. I appreciate a personal trainer that in his dating life has solidarity with manlets. Weight requirements, says Dead Snake. See, that's interesting. I had a talk with a woman recently about that where she said, that's not fair because some people have weight requirements. True. However, one of the things I would say is that it's considerably easier to control your weight than your height. Like, I've lost 13 pounds inside of a month. Good luck growing 6 inches inside of a month. I don't think that's gonna happen. Anyway, what is the new I'm walking here? Don't know. Make sure you stop streaming before you're close to home so people can't find out where you live. Oh, that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. Simping is at an all-time high. I refuse to pay for OnlyFans. Listen, maybe it's just a generational thing, but I grew up during a time when porn on the internet was free. So I don't understand this whole paying for OnlyFans shit either. I am 5'6" and very happy, says Aharam V. Me too. I'm a happy man. Life is good. You know, with all the shit going on in the world, I'd still rather be around in this time frame than virtually any other. Like, 1400s, no thank you. BCs, no thank you. 1800s, no thank you. 1920s, no thank you. I'll take this timeline over just about any other timeline in history. I'm a happy dude. I'm lucky to be alive. And so are you, honestly. You're alive in the best timeline in history. Not only am I alive in the best timeline in history, I'm drunk in one of the best timelines in history. What happened to your girlfriend? Don't ask retarded questions. Let's see. You should live in the burbs. A lot of simple girls that just want to live simple lives. I don't know if that's true. Breaking news. Elon buys Rochester, New York for $80 in food stamps and 4 suboxones? What the fuck is that? You've done so many videos on one wheels that'd be a perfect time to have one. No, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to wind up on the receiving end of a wrongful, the dealing end of a wrongful death lawsuit because the shit fucking tanks me into the cement. I appreciate that. There's a lot of wrongful death lawsuits against that company at the moment. I'm not really interested in writing one of those things, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's just my opinion is all. Lewis, my wife doesn't know your name. She just knows you as Pee Pee Bus. You know, I'll take that nickname. I'll take it. I'm 5'11" barefoot. There's something to be said for being able to do rest your chin on the girl's head comfortably while standing. Date Far East women, I'd trade you an inch for an inch. You know, the only time, let me think about this. I dated a Slovenian woman, and I dated a woman that was born in Albania a while back. Those are interesting experiences, I'll leave it at that. They did not last very long, though. By my choice. Love you, man, says Anthony Warner. Thank you. Co-op City is in the northeast section of the Bronx. Yeah, I think I spent the least time in the Bronx of any other borough. Thank you, Fenfo. So what is your address? I mean, you could figure that out if you put enough work in. You don't need me to do that for you. by, check out the garbage. Some standard New York City garbage right here. Thanks for the tour of New York. Have a great night and get home safe. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you, my friend. Yeah, I never walk in the bike lane, Martin. It pisses me off when other people do. Especially when I'm trying to go down the bridge at redacted miles per hour. Sometimes I'm trying to make a record, so I'm going across the bridge at redacted miles per hour. Let me tell you, it's really annoying when you have people walking in the bike lane. It makes it much harder to try and beat my old records. Can somebody do me a favor and time out the person that keeps copying and pasting the same shit? Thank you very much. God bless you, moderator. I don't know where Sonny is, man. I don't stalk people. I don't put air tags on my friends. That's kind of fucking creepy, you know? Is biking while drunk illegal? Well, technically, riding my bike while sober is illegal because there's nothing about that thing that's illegal. That thing breaks so many regulations, it's not even funny. But it's more illegal. Here's the thing. I don't care about what's illegal. Like, I don't give a fuck about what the law says. I care about what's moral and ethical to do. Is it moral and ethical to ride that bicycle in the way that I do? 100%. Is it moral and ethical to ride that bicycle the way that it is after I've had this much to drink? No, not even. What's legal is not really my concern. If what was legal was my concern, I wouldn't stream videos with Apple schematics in them. I don't give a shit what's legal. He spammed, that's what he did. Any advice for a brother whose younger sister lives in New York and commutes daily? I would suggest that you get a good amount of sleep, you drink a lot of fluids, you get some exercise every day, you journal, always journal to make sure you're not lying to yourself, and do your best to live a good life. I thought you moved to a different state. I can't answer that question over and over again. I don't have a primary residence here, but I still have a business here, so I come to check up on it from time to time. But I get asked that question literally every day. Ask me where it happened to Erica too. Why not? Just like make it a 2-for-1 combo. Make it a 2-for-1 combo. Hello, Paul Daniels. How are you? Hello, Jessica. Whatever. How are you? That's a dumb question, George Foreman. I'm not moving fast. I'm literally walking at like 2 miles an hour. If you think this is fast, you probably are one of those people that's not disabled that asks for the wheelchair at Walmart just because you don't want to walk around. Written journal or video? Gundam, I would say written journal. Write it. It's good to write it. Have you ever gone fully unhinged in public? Define unhinged. Everybody's got a different definition. How often do you journal? I try to journal at least 2 or 4 times a month, but if I was being honest with myself, what I should be doing is journaling every day. Because most of my dumb decisions and most of my bad life decisions I could correct if I was journaling every day. Usually when I don't write in it, it's because I don't want to it's because I don't want the truth to come out, because the truth coming out will keep me from making a stupid decision. And I'll want to make the stupid decision because I'll feel like I'll convince myself into some bullshit in my head that's not actually true. But when I deal with my journal, I have to be honest with myself, and it forces me to make difficult decisions. Like, I mean, firing my best friend happened after writing in my journal. What else? Like, yeah, there's a lot of shit that winds up happening. Like, difficult breakups happen after writing in that journal. Throwing away large amounts of money happen after writing in that journal. It's always important to be honest with yourself. As Eli the computer guy says, you can lie to the rest of the world, you can't lie to yourself. Or you can, but not for long, because it catches up with you. Ever had an STD? Luckily, I have not. Thank God for condoms. They're very cheap. Why are you sorry for my loss? I literally got over that loss a long time ago. It's only new for you people. Let's see. Being honest with yourself is one of the most painful experiences. Why would I ask what happened to Erica? Who is Erica? That's, you know what? Quality troll, Christopher. Quality troll. Quality troll. Quality. I appreciate the $5, and I appreciate the troll. Is it moral or ethical to read my mother's text messages because I don't trust the man that she's dated? She would be gone for hours with a boyfriend that was 10 years ago. Yeah, your mom's old enough that she can make her own decisions in life. That's not on you. Honestly, that would be less creepy if you said, is it weird to read my wife's text messages? But that would still be fucking creepy as hell. Don't get me wrong, that would still be creepy. But at least I'd understand it, because it's like, it's your direct spouse, it's your relationship, it's your girlfriend. Yeah, it's still creepy. But like, read your mom's text messages? What the like, she's old enough to deal with her own relationships, and if she doesn't want to, that's not on you to do. Don't do that. Does the walk sober you up? No, but I think it's good to get exercise, especially after getting intoxicated. Been watching your videos for years. The video you did in Perseverance is really useful. I also look forward to what you'll accomplish in the future. Cheers. Thank you. Hopefully, if there's anything people get out of these videos, is that you can fail over and over again, and as long as you don't give up, you can still do decently okay. Paul, I think that's a little paranoid. So Paul said, be careful, I love your work, and I'm sure there's some millionaires without morals who would be willing to remove a thorn in the side of their agenda. So I want you to do two things. I want you to look at the subscriber growth of this channel on Social Blade from 2012 to 2022. Then I want you to look at the price of Apple stock from 2012 to 2022. Dude, I'm not a thorn in the side of anybody, trust me. They don't even notice I exist. I don't exist. Shouldn't read your wife's either. True, and to be clear, that's exactly what the fuck I said. However, at least I could kind of understand the incentive structure. Reading your mom's text messages? What the fuck? Don't do that. Should we be worried? I don't know. What are you doing with your life? If you have all of your money in a meme stock, you probably should be worried. Or if you're not doing anything with your life, you probably should be worried. But I don't know enough about your life, Kalios, to know if you should or shouldn't be worried. I don't really know you that well. I'm open to getting to know you, but I'm probably not going to get to know you that well in a live chat of 1,200 people. I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Well, you know, I agree with you there. I definitely would prefer a temporary modification of my brain to a permanent modification of my brain. Ideally, you should be able to trust your significant other enough to not pour through their text. True, 100%. I immediately wound up kicking somebody out of my apartment who read through my email 10 years ago. Do you think New York City is too soft on crime? I do. There's this attitude here of like, well, if somebody commits crime, it's because they're a victim of the evil capitalist system that has oppressed them and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you know, in some sense, I guess, okay, true. Like, there's some truth in all that shit. There's always a little bit of truth when you're being manipulated. But a lot of it is people that are just really excited and happy to take advantage of that mindset. And they're happy to take advantage of others that have that mindset and be as evil as humanly possible with no remorse for anybody that they fuck over ever. And no desire to become better people. Are you living your dream life? I'm living something. I'm living a life. I think you mean, should we be worried about you? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't believe there's anything to be worried about. Love this channel. Name one tech channel where the owner walks around New York City to prove a point about crime. I feel like I'd have a much better viewership, and I think I'd have a much better engagement rate if I told people what they wanted to hear. There is such a big industry in telling people what they want to hear. And so many people come to this channel to hear me shit on New York City. But in this one area, I'm just not willing to tell them what they want to hear. And you can see how fucking mad they get when I refuse to give them what they want to hear. But I can't. I'm me. Can you do a backwards long jump? Fuck no. A battery pack to use for your phone. Whatever came with the Samsung S10e. Whatever's inside of this piece of shit. My friend was attacked in Midtown, 2 stitches and neck brace. And a friend there was also attacked. That sucks. I don't know. I don't think people attack me because I don't think I look like somebody that would be an easy victim. Like, I think a part of it is coming off like an easy victim. I don't think I come off as an easy victim. What are you doing, bro? And why'd you just stop? Okay, note to self. Be careful of that person behind me. You know what? I'll do this so that I can see the person behind me if he comes up on. There we go. I don't think I come off as an easy victim. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm some sort of jiu-jitsu black belt or anything, but I'm not making it easy on somebody that wants to fuck with me. Not at all. I found your channel in 2015 stumbling on a border pair video. Happy for your growth. This type of goofy video is perfect. Thank you. I legitimately just started watching your channel again after watching for years because of medical issues. Legitimately don't understand HAKKO reference. Not trolling you, love you anyway. Okay, cool. Thank you, Christopher. Sorry about that. Firstly, my apologies if I come off as an asshole. I'm plastered at the moment. Too much liquor. Secondly, Erica is a woman that I used to date that people will ask me, where is she? Literally every fucking day, even though I broke up with her months ago, because people just kind of like to be idiots. So since you asked the question that gets asked almost every single day, I was being an asshole back and saying, why don't you ask another question that people ask every single day? But you seem like a nice guy, so you don't deserve me being an asshole. So my apologies. This is a highway over here, by the way. I hope you have a good evening, Christopher. Do you recommend moving to New York City after college? Hell no. You're a different person than me, so I don't know what you want. And also, thank you for the $10. That's more than I deserve. Battery pack to use for your phone. I use whatever battery came inside the phone when I bought it. I struggle to chew gum and walk at the same time. This is a great multitask. Yes, I'm looking at my screen to read chat. I'm looking at the reflection of my screen since the brightness is all the way down so that I can see if anybody's behind me. And I am looking in front of me while keeping my balance and metabolizing my alcohol. Naruto run down the bridge. What? Don't jinx it. What am I going to jinx? We're not safer, we just feel safer. I don't know. Maybe, listen, I've lived here for 33 years. I've had a couple of instances, but most of them were when I was a kid, actually, or a teenager, where I was getting attacked by other teenagers. Ironically, in really nice, affluent areas. I had one instance in 2010 when somebody came up to me and took my iced tea bottle from me, broke it, and tried to stab me in the arm with it. I still have a scar to this day, but that was 12 years ago. And also, in spite of the fact that I was bleeding out of my arm, he was knocked out and bleeding from many other areas. So I think I got the winning end of that interaction. That was a long time ago, though. I think that was when being white in Bed-Stuy was seen as more of a bad thing. Now it's just something, I guess, to be frowned on, but not necessarily as bad a thing as it was 12 years ago. But yeah, it was very obvious why I was attacked at that point in time. But it was literally once. Yeah, I'm not going to hold that against the area for eternity. You have a city of 8.5 million people, there's always going to be an asshole. Or a group of assholes. Things have changed a lot since then. Considerably, actually. Things have changed considerably since then. I do not smoke weed. Weed is not for me. I was in New York City when 9/11 happened. Rent in Bed-Stuy is insane because it's all gentrified now. Like when I moved in there, every block was liquor store, bodega, check casher. Liquor store, bodega, check casher. KFC, liquor store, bodega, Kennedy Fried Chicken, check casher. Now, and the rent was like $900. Now, Bed-Stuy looks like this. Thai restaurant, Indian restaurant, Chase Bank, Indian restaurant, juice press. And now, it's fucking $2,000 for a studio. Or like $17 or $1,800 for a studio. I mean, you could still find some shitty-ass old buildings where like a one-bedroom is, $1,500 or $1,600. But those are few and far between. I kind of get it. Don't get me wrong. Listen, to be clear, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that somebody should see somebody with a slightly lighter skin tone from them that's wearing Dockers and a fucking waffle Henley shirt, take their iced tea bottle from them, break it, and try to stab them in the arm with it. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that when people that look like that move into your neighborhood and everything doubles in fucking price, I kind of get why people are pissed off. Not saying it's okay, but I get it. Still sucks when people try to stab you with a fucking iced tea bottle. Let's see. I wonder if I still have that mark on my arm. I still have that mark on my arm. Here we go. That's a reminder. That's a reminder to block properly. Yeah. That sucked. What is the best piece of pie in New York City? Don't say Joe's. I don't know what you mean by pie. I don't eat pie because pie has carbs. If you're saying pizza pie, that has carbs. If you're saying like apple pie or pumpkin pie, that too has carbs. And carbs bloats you, makes me fat. Not you, at least it bloats me. And because it bloats me, I don't fuck with carbs. I don't fuck with excess carbs. There's enough carbs in my diet as it is without me having to seek them out. Do you keep an apartment in New York City? Yes and no, because it's not mine. Like, I live there and I pay the person who it belongs actually rents it, but it's not actually mine. And it has a lease on it. So I kind of feel like I'd be a complete dick. If I was breaking my own lease and fucking my own credit, that's one thing, but I'm not gonna break somebody. I'm not gonna like fuck somebody else's credit. That's kind of a dickhead thing to do. I'm not walking to the Bronx. That's in the opposite direction. I'm walking to go to sleep. And the moment I get there, I'm gonna drink the rest of this bottle of water and pass out on my floor like a good alcoholic. Okay. So I think I'm supposed to go here. It's a red, but who cares? It's New York. Nobody obeys laws here. I still got a piece of graphite in the palm of my hand from when I was stabbed by a pencil 15 years ago. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Are you scared to walk in New York City at night? No, because I'm not a giant pussy. No. I am a pussy, but I'm not a giant pussy. So, how far do you have to walk? Far enough. I can't do math in my head to come up with it at this point in time. Lewis is not lost. What is it? I don't know my ETA. I'm not a GPS. I'm not a GPS. Why is everybody stabbing you? Everybody's not stabbing me. One person tried to stab me 12 years ago, and he scratched me. Technically, he scraped me. He didn't stab me, because stabbing would have left a much worse scar. He scraped me. And I managed to grab his arm after he did that, hit him in the face, then hit him in the neck, and hit him a bunch more times. And that was a really interesting story. So he was with two other people. And I remember the story that my dad told me, whereas his dad got in trouble. And essentially, what my dad had told me, he grew up in the South Bronx, is if you ever get into a situation where there's more people, what you do is you find the one person who seems like the leader, and you absolutely, you fight as dirty as possible, and you fuck them up as much as humanly possible. Because it's never a case where all three people will go at you at the same time. Usually the type of people that will go, like 3 versus 1, usually they're giant pussies. So what they do is one of them will try to fight you, and the other two are going to watch and see what happens. And if the one person that goes to hit you gets massively fucked up, the other two, being pussies, because admittedly you have to be a pussy to do 3 versus 1 to begin with, will run away. And that actually worked. I hit him in the neck, hit him in the head. I smashed his head against one of these things, one of these poles things, he fell into one of these. He was bleeding from the head. And the other two people, I just looked at him, and they just kept on walking. They just fucking left. So I'm walking home. I didn't even realize that anything happened to my arm. And I didn't even realize that I had gotten hurt. Where was this? This is around Myrtle, I think Myrtle and Nostrand, or Marcy and Park, around there. Anyway, and I'm and it's raining. So since it was raining, I didn't really notice that there was any sort of liquid. And my arm kind of feels warm. I'm wondering, why do I feel so tired? Why does my arm feel warm? And then I look and it's oh my God, that's a lot of blood that's leaking out of my arm. So I walk into the Duane Reade that's on Myrtle and Nostrand, and I go, excuse me. And I'm kind of heavily breathing because I ran and I also lost a good amount of blood. Do you guys happen to have a Band-Aid that I could buy? And the woman just looks at me like she is absolutely shocked and stunned. She's like, I'm calling 911. I don't have healthcare. I mean, technically, I don't even have health insurance now because I think it's a fucking scam. The entire American healthcare system is a scam. I used to sell health insurance, which is how I know that. But I remember walking into the Duane Reade, and she's like, no, I don't have health insurance. Don't call now. All I'm looking for is a couple of Band-Aids. And obviously a Band-Aid is not going to work because I have this fucking gusher coming out of my arm. And the woman is actually kind enough that she's like, come back here. She takes me back to the pharmacy. She actually cleans it up. I forget if it was iodine or something else. She used something to clean it. And she uses these bandages and she wraps it all up for me really, really nicely. And I ask her what I owe her, and she goes, don't worry about it. And I think I left a $50 bill there as a thank you. And then I walked home. And that was that. I forget where this story began. Ah, yes, my dad saying that essentially when something like that happens, you can't assume that everybody assumes that if it's 3 people that come up to you, that they're all going to do something, and that's never what happens. Because the type of people that actually approach people that are by themselves are usually massive pussies that are only doing it because they have no sense of confidence in themselves or their ability. So that shit actually worked. My dad gave me some good advice. That actually worked. But that's the last time that I had a serious issue. It was 12 years ago. I don't know. Like I walk, I ride my bike around all the time. My business used to be a house call based business, so I was traveling around at 1 and 3 in the morning. Having one issue like that in 12 years, not the worst. You could definitely have a worse track record than that. Definitely have a worse track record than that. I'll probably pass that Dwayne Reed on the way home. I wonder if it's still there. I should go and send him a thank you. Can we send you email? Don't send me email. I get enough spam, man. Are you worried about someone figuring out where you are? Yeah, who gives a shit? That's one of the things about having a dead YouTube channel, is that nobody cares enough to do that. I'm not XQC. I'm not PewDiePie. People got better shit to do. I'm sure 80% of the city knows who you are. No, I'm not that famous. Did the guy who tried to stab you get arrested? No, I didn't even bother calling the police. I got my bandage, I went home, I drank some Southern Comfort, and I went to sleep. Doesn't reading zillions of messages on random subjects make it hard to read and walk at the same time? No, I'm an excellent multitasker. One of the things that made me a good business person, I'm not actually good at any of the things that I do. I'm not great at customer service, I'm not good at board repair, I'm not good at building a business. I'm not good at building a website. I'm not good at advertising. The one thing I'm good at is running a Ponzi scheme in my time. I can do, like, I'm kind of like a C- student, but I can be a C- student at 7 simultaneous disciplines. And that's the only thing that I'm really good at. Like, I'm not, because there's everybody that works here is kind of like an A or an A+ in what they do. But if I ask them to do everything, they're going to be an F somewhere. I'm kind of like a C- at everything. But I can juggle a lot at the same time. That's one of the few things that I'm good at, is keeping numerous tasks in my head, doing them all at the same time, and not having any of them drop. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have never been able to start a decent business. You can get stabbed walking the streets of Newcastle unprovoked. New York City, probably not that much more dangerous. Newcastle where? Thank you, Abraham Arantes. I mean, by the amount of garbage in the streets, it's a third world country. No, that's not a third world country. That's just Jewish Williamsburg. This is the south side of Williamsburg. By the way, if anybody says that you're living in South Williamsburg and you are south of Flushing, that's not South Williamsburg. That's Bed-Stuy. You're getting fucked over by a slimy realtor. It's the same thing as when they say East Williamsburg. Like, it's not East Williamsburg, it's Bushwick. Although then again, I don't even think there's a reason to lie about that anymore, because Bushwick has been fully gentrified now. I remember back in 2007 and 2006 when people would say, like, shit by the Myrtle Wyckoff stop on the L is East Williamsburg. It's like, fuck out of here, that's Bushwick. I don't know if they still run those type of scams, since I haven't looked for an apartment in a really long time. Why so many school buses? I don't know. Go back to fixing computers. Oh, shut your mouth, you virtue signaling cunt. If I do a video fixing a computer, you're not even going to watch it. There's over 600 videos here of me fixing computers. Do you watch them? No, you just show up to be a cunt on these. So suck my balls. I can't stand people like you. Genuinely can't stand them. Genuinely the worst type of virtue signaler. Go back to gargling my nuts. Okay, and there, and now you're gone. Alright. Healthcare scam. Yeah, I used to be a health insurance. I used to work for Atlantis Healthcare. In 2008, I was a licensed and certified health insurance salesman. Spent a month and a half working at Atlantis Healthcare. Man, that was something else. That was the closest I ever got to like a multi-level marketing scheme. They spend weeks trying to kind of teach you that the reason that you're here is because you failed at everything else in life. So you need to forget everything else that you were doing, everything else that you know, and just have everything relearned from scratch by us. You know, I remember they would convince you that when you were selling healthcare, that I want you to think of it like this. If you handed somebody $500 and they said, no, are they crazy or are you crazy? They're crazy, right? Well, that's what you're doing when you're selling the Atlantis healthcare plan. You're handing them hundreds of dollars. And if they say no, they're just idiots. And I said, well, there's a difference there, because the hundreds of dollars don't come with any strings attached. We're switching over to healthcare providers. There's a question as to whether or not you're going to provide the same coverage. There's a question as to whether or not you are going to deny claims that the current insurer may not deny. There's a question as to whether or not certain doctors may be included in the coverage. So there's a lot more to that decision than there is just taking hundreds of dollars off the street. And the guy told me that I'm an idiot. It's like, fuck you, you fucking cult leader cunt. I forget who it was that was teaching this class in late 2008. He was this Italian guy that had like his slick back hair. He wrote a book on sales and shit. He had this book on how he like recovered from being a fucking drug addict, and then he became a health insurance salesman and became a multimillionaire, and now his life is great. I don't know his name. If anybody here knows how to find shit like that. That was so fucking funny. Needless to say, I did not last there. I did not last. That was a place that, it was one of those things where you had to be into the brainwashing in order to actually get the job. But I was licensed to be a health insurance salesperson. And the more that I learned, the more that I uncovered, the more that I learned about that entire industry, the sicker I became. I don't even have health insurance right now. Like, I mean, I can't knowingly pay for it, knowing how that industry works. Like, it's just weird, you know? It's like, I know that at some point, my phone, some part that's in the phone that I have now was probably produced by some sort of slave labor or Uyghur shit in China. But it's abstract. But if I actually visited the factory and got to see it, I probably wouldn't be able to use the phone. You know, it's one of those things. So it's very difficult. One second. Anyway, it's very difficult for me to actually consider health insurance, knowing full well how it all works on the inside. It's such a scam from top to bottom. I respect the story, but I call BS. You're welcome to gargle my balls. I don't give two shits of a fuck what you believe. I could care less. I have no personal investment in what you believe. You don't have health insurance, Lewis. No, I don't. I can't. It's like, I can't. It makes me sick. Like, to give money to those people, knowing how they do run business, it just makes me fucking sick. There was an entire floor of people that were dedicated to like fucking over the doctors and fucking over the actual customers of the health insurance to not pay out claims and look for reasons to not pay shit out. It's so icky. I can't do it. It's like I can't give them money. It's disgusting. Like, I know that that's not the right thing, because if I get hit by a car, then I would be on the hook for the bill. Like, I get it. It's not logical. It's just, I can't give them money, knowing how disgusting that entire system is. Like, every month that I write the check, I'd want to throw up. I don't know if socialized medicine is the way to go. I just kind of wish we were at a point where you didn't have insurance companies raising up the price of everything and then lowering it for themselves. It would be nice if I got hit by a car, I could just, pay for whatever the work needs to be done with 1 month of my pay instead of, 60 months of my pay. You like Williamsburg? It's always been a little too hipster heavy for me. But, it's been a little hipster heavy for me. How much did you drink? 5 shots of Ciroc. 2 shots of whatever it was that Kevin and Dan got, and then some whiskey afterwards. I forget how much of the whiskey I had. I tend to lose track with whiskey. I like whiskey. Whiskey is enjoyable. All right, we're almost there. Now, Flushing Avenue is where you see it just kind of flips and immediately becomes an area that is less desirable to be walking through at 1 a.m. I'll walk by the Duane Reade that helped bandage me up 12 years ago. if my battery is still alive by then. How do you handle a major health catastrophe without health insurance? Easy, you don't have one. Like, I get it, you should have health insurance. It's just, once you realize what a scam it is, once you actually work for a health insurer, it just becomes so difficult to actually buy into that bullshit system. It'd be like buying, I don't know what this. It'd be like paying the Apple Store for repair after you work here, you know? It's just like, ew. You can't do it. If you get attacked by a hobo, use Lin Wan Quen. What the fuck? What the hell is that? Because it's 4:20 somewhere. Huh? I don't know what that means. I'm behind by 7 minutes. Find a homeless person. Why would I do that? No point to that. You're not actually drunk, are you? You know what? I take that as a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment. That means I'm very good at metabolizing my alcohol. Here we go. 2 blocks away from the Dwayne Reed that bandaged me up in 2010. Stream to end with Lewis stabbing somebody outdoors. Nonsense. I'm a very non-violent person. Why do you say YouTube channel is dead? Explain. It's the ratio of subscribers to active viewers and participants. So I'll give you an example. There are channels with 400,000 viewers that will have 400,000 subscribers, I should say, that have 1,500 to 12,000 live viewers per stream. Mine is usually 300. There are channels with 300,000 subscribers that will often have like 80,000 or 300,000 views a video or something. Mine is like, like 5,000 to 15,000. So the subscriber number, I believe, is inflated. I don't know if somebody bought subscribers off of Fiverr at some point just to mess with me or whatever. I don't know what it is, but whatever the number it is that's there, like the 1.7 million, that's just made up shit. That's not real. I don't really care because it's not a living for me or anything, but when somebody says, you have 1.7 million, no, I don't. That number's fake. What makes it fake, I don't know, but my insurance company, Highmark, recently tried denying coverage for a surgery I needed because they deem it not medically necessary, even though my doctor says it is. Yeah, Christopher, that's the thing. There was an entire floor. Holy sh... Okay, that's not for me. Thank God. There was a whole floor of people that did that. Here's the thing. When you sign up for your insurance, you're signing a contract that is not written for the benefit of you. And here's the other thing about insurance that makes it a scam to me. The people that are choosing whether or not your claim is valid are the same people that stand to lose money if the claim is valid. So there's an insane conflict of interest there. The people that are looking through your contract, the people that are deciding whether or not something that you need done is covered or not covered, are the same people that stand to lose money if they actually decide that it's covered. It's an insane conflict of interest, and it makes it impossible for me to actually trust insurance to ever do the right thing, because there is a direct financial incentive to not do the right thing. It's kind of... I'm trying to think of a good example, but I'm failing to an example right now. Knife life sounds like best life. What? What the hell does that mean? Sunday morning wake and bake. By the way, these are the Marcy houses. I forget if this is where Jay-Z or Biggie grew up. I think it's where Jay-Z grew up. I think Jay-Z grew up in the Marcy projects. I forget if it's the Marcy houses or the Tompkins houses. The Tompkins houses are 2 blocks that way. I think it's the Marcy houses. I'm pretty sure it was the Marcy houses. But yeah, small bit of trivia for you. You should take care of your health. See, true, I don't have health insurance. Do I not have health insurance? I don't have health insurance. I also have an insanely strict diet. I do half an hour to an hour of cardio each day. lift weights 4 times a week. I'm very strict with myself. Besides the drinking, I probably should stop the drinking, but that's another topic altogether. But I'm pretty strict with myself and my body. Like, I realize if I'm gonna have the mindset that I do with health insurance, I really can't afford to fuck myself up with stupid shit. No company ever has the client's best interest at heart. You can spell shareholders. I don't know. Sometimes I think I do. But even I don't have it like 100%. I think it's like 70 or 80%. And at the end of the day, the client's best interest is to pay $0 and have a perfect repair. So I don't think I have their interest in heart that much. But I have it a decent amount. I have to live with myself at the end of the day. I think that has a lot to do with it. I don't think the insurance company has to live with themselves at the end of the day. I'd rather give you money. I don't know why, Norby. Probably should keep that money. But I'll take it. Coming up on Dwayne Reed. Man, it's been 12 years since I walked here. What do you think of open source and the GPL? It's a very general question. I have no problem with open source. People want open source their software, make it available to anybody to modify and all that, great. More power to them. I use Linux. I use Linux at my office computer, my home computer, and my laptop. So I use Linux. I don't always use open source software. Like the NVIDIA drivers, the open source ones suck compared to the NVIDIA. I mean, honestly, the NVIDIA ones suck too, but not nearly as bad as Nouveau. Which is not, I shouldn't really shit on them because, they're reverse engineering the shit from scratch. I don't use 100% free software, but I use open source as often as I can. What happened to Erica Lewis? Oh my god, with the retarded questions. Fuck off. Let's see. How do you smash a bottle on the road, bro? It's New York City. Your camera stabilization is giving my drunk self cancer. Here's a few bucks to keep doing what you're doing. I use a Samsung S10e. Here's the two things I've noticed. So, A, the Samsung S10e has some stabilization, but not a lot. But if you use it within the YouTube app, you get nothing. By the way, this is the Dwayne Reed that was kind enough 12 years ago to patch me up when my arm was bleeding out from the person that tried to stab me with a bottle. It's still here. I'm happy it's still open. I should actually go by here and give them another $50 as a thank you. That was very kind of them. Yeah, sorry for the shaky video. I'm not gonna carry around a gimbal though. Screw that. That's too much work. I ain't carrying no gimbal. Some random drunk walking around video. So, here we go. I'm pretty close to home. I get so many comments saying, what do you think of the rising crime in New York City? I can't believe you ride a bike there. I can't believe you're a visitor. It's so unsafe. It's is it not 1 in the morning? It's 3 in the morning right now. Literally walked 7 miles, almost 7 miles. Started at 1:30 in the morning. I'm plastered off my mind and don't care. Totally fine. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. I'm good. Don't get me wrong. When you lock a bike outside, 50-50 chance of everything on it will be there the next day. Don't get it twisted. If you accidentally leave your wallet at a doctor's office, don't trust that they're going to put it away for you. Trust that you're going to see some charges from Jimmy John's and Foot Locker and McDonald's within 5 minutes on your fucking phone. But the idea, there's most certainly crime, and people can most certainly be pieces of shit here in a way that they're not pieces of shit in smaller towns. But the idea that you should be so afraid that I'm not going to walk down the street, I don't know. I can't do that shit. I can't say that shit. I know people want to hear it so bad. You guys want to hear that shit so bad. I just can't be a propagandist. I'm sorry. I can be biased against an area without being a full-on propagandist piece of shit. There's so much money in propagandizing people, though. There's a lot of fucking money in telling people what they want to hear. My God. If I had half a brain, I would jump on that gravy train. I'd have paid my back rent off in 2 months. Make some dramatic looking thumbnails. Tell people the world sucks. Give them a clear-cut enemy. So straight up, how do I tell a thirst trap from a call girl? I live in PA, so visiting New York City is not out of the question. Here's the thing, man. You're not gonna know. You can talk to her a little bit. You know, say, introduce yourself. Hey, hi, I'm Lewis. Nice to meet you. I just had a couple of, just wanted. You looked interesting, so I wanted to have a conversation. Say hi. Just say hi. Talk about yourself a little bit. So maybe she'll open up about herself a little bit. Should be easy to tell. Have a conversation. Get to know people. Don't make these baseline assumptions with no data. Okay. Man, I should drink a little bit of water. It's good to drink water after drinking liquor. It's a good thing to do. You should always drink a little bit of water. I didn't drink water because I didn't want to piss on the way home. Usually I stop to piss under the bridge, but pissing in public is illegal. But nobody will let you go to the bathroom in this city, so you kind of have to piss under the bridge. Which is something I'd be fine doing, except I'm streaming, so I don't want to stream while streaming illegally. What is Messiah's here? What the fuck is that? Paying money while watching a live stream is so sad, honestly. Not sadder than making a comment on it. Alright. We almost there. No gimbal for us. No gimbal for any of you people. No gimbal for you. Stab with the bottle, asked if it's safe. You know, in Lumberton, North Carolina, I was literally there for 2 hours. And somebody chased us around a gas station trying to steal Steve's phone, so I don't want to hear it. You can live in a small town that's mostly Republican and it'd still be a shithole too. There's so many shitholes in America. The gimbal is asking to get mugged even more than a smartphone. Yeah, definitely. Listen, I have a very strong grip on my phone in my hand. If somebody tries to take this from me, they're getting rocked. With a gimbal, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. You know, it brings more attention to you. Do you hate travel between New York City and where you live? Not really. It gives me time to think. I need time to think. And honestly, a couple of hours in the car driving on a road that doesn't have traffic, it gives me time to think. And I need a lot of time to think because I've done a lot of stupid shit over the past 10 years. So it's good to have time to myself between me and the road. Glad you're safe, but bum no fan said hi. I had one person say hi in Manhattan. I'm not as famous as you think I am. I'm not Rihanna. I'm not Bill Burr. I'm a dude that occasionally fixes motherboards. Live free or die. Live free or die. So yeah, here we are. All right. Close to the neighborhood of Old Home. You like Jay-Z's music? It's not my thing. I'm more like, if I'm gonna listen to hip hop, it's probably like mid-90s Mobb Deep would be for me. Stand here, catch up on a little bit of chat. The crime in New York ain't happening here. Yeah, I don't know. If I can walk a 7-mile stretch and be fine, then you're really kind of stretching it. Don't get me wrong, I know where to walk if I want to. If I want to not have this phone anymore, I know which blocks to walk down. But I don't have to walk down any of those blocks to make it home. Maybe I'll go to Blake Avenue in East New York or something. You know, it's funny, I was actually riding down a block with Erica on the old bike, and she asked if we could go a couple of blocks over because she didn't like the way everything looked there. And I'm like, what? What's wrong? Point out to me what you don't like. And she's like, yeah, I don't like it here. And then literally one day later in the New York Post, a guy was washing his car with a sponge and just a little pail of water and some soap, and somebody just walks by and shoots him in the head. Like, no warning, no fight, no nothing. Just shoots him in the head and just keeps going. Guy was just washing his car. It's like, yeah, okay, you know what? Point taken. Good call, Erica. not the avenue to be walking down. You trust your tech with a repair shop? I mean, I hire techs for my repair shop, so that's kind of a dumb question. I mean, I like how some of the comments discuss things mentioned minutes ago. Yes, that's why I don't read most of them anymore. Okay. Time to get some rest. Have a good night. I enjoyed the walk. Thank you, Timothy. I just didn't. You probably already answered this, but what's it like to hang out with Tim Pool? Cheers. I don't know. You know, I spent a good 20 minutes discussing right to repair. In 2 hours, not putting my dick in a vice on culture war things I didn't really care about. I enjoyed the being able to get right to repair across to a new audience. You know, I had to talk about oil and inflation with him and how you can't blame a bunch of the oil shit on Biden. I fucking hate Biden, but you can't blame all the oil shit on him. Some, sure, but not all of it. But apparently that talk got put behind a paywall. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Can't win them all. Time to get something to help and avoid a hangover tomorrow. What do we got at the good old grocery store? The grocery store is locked because live in Bed-Stuy. Okay, with that, I'll check out with my fridge, and I will see you all at a date. I will see you all at a later date. Time for me to finish my water and then avoid a hangover. Anyway, I don't know where that person is in the beginning of the stream. I said that I would give him $500 if he could point out a single crime that occurred not to me, but to anybody from the beginning of the walk to the end of the walk. I bet he left. Anyway, he's probably gone. Oh well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? See you all later. I'm gonna walk the rest of the way home. Have my anti-hangover cure. And that's that. That is that.